Good morning, Alex and friends. I'm Grace. Today is Sunday, April 20th, 2025, and you're listening to Alex's News. The weather in Riverside will be pleasant today, with a high of 72.3 degrees and a low of 54.1. Coming up on today's episode, we'll examine the reasons behind the current turmoil within Trump's Pentagon, exploring the tensions and challenges facing the military leadership. Then, we'll investigate how tariffs on baby products are contributing to a growing cost crisis for parents across the country, making essential items like cribs, car seats, and formula increasingly unaffordable for many families. We'll break down which products are being hit hardest and what this means for new and expecting parents trying to manage their budgets. Stay with us as we dive into these important stories affecting national security and family economics on today's Alex's News. Good morning, viewers. The Pentagon is experiencing significant leadership turmoil as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's inner circle faces a major shakeup amid a national security leak investigation. Joining us now is our Pentagon correspondent, Ethan. Good morning, Ethan. What can you tell us about these high-profile departures?
Good morning, Grace. It's quite the Pentagon purge. According to ABC News, 3 key aides to Defense Secretary Hegseth have been removed from their positions as part of an expanding investigation into national security leaks during the first 100 days of the Trump administration.
Can you identify who exactly has been shown the Pentagon's exit door?
Yes, the officials removed include Dan Caldwell, who served as a senior advisor to Hegseth, Colin Carroll, Chief of Staff to Deputy Defense Secretary Stephen Feinberg, and Darren Selnick, Hegseth's Deputy Chief of Staff. According to reporting from HuffPost, Caldwell and Selnick were not just placed on administrative leave, they were fired and physically escorted from the Pentagon building on Friday, with their access credentials suspended.
That sounds like quite the dramatic departure. What about Carroll? Did he face the same fate?
Carroll's situation appears slightly different. As Perplexity API notes, Carroll, a Marine Corps Reserve officer who previously worked for defense contractor Anduril, was placed on administrative leave, but as of today, April 20th, 2025, had not been formally dismissed. Both Caldwell and Selnick previously worked together at an organization called Concerned Veterans for America.
Have these officials responded to their ousting? I imagine they're not taking this lying down.
You're right about that, Grace. According to Yahoo News, citing Associated Press reporting, the 3 released a joint statement on XA, formerly known as Twitter A, where they characterized the actions against them as, quote, baseless attacks, end quote. They expressed profound disappointment and claimed their characters have been, in their words, quote, slandered, end quote, by unnamed Pentagon officials.
So what exactly are they alleged to have leaked? This must be serious if it warranted such swift action.
The investigation covers multiple unauthorized disclosures of sensitive national security information. According to ABC News, these include leaks about military operational plans for the Panama Canal, the deployment of a second U.S. aircraft carrier to the Red Sea, a pause in intelligence collection for Ukraine, and perhaps most controversially, details about Elon Musk reportedly receiving classified briefings regarding potential U.S. war plans involving China.
Elon Musk was briefed on war plans with China? That seems like an unusual person to include in such sensitive discussions.
That's precisely why the leak was so significant. However, Perplexity API clarifies that while the Musk briefing leaks are a focus of the investigation, there's currently no clear public indication directly linking these specific ousted advisors to those particular leaks. The whole probe began following a March 21st memo signed by Hegseth's Chief of Staff Joe Casper, calling for an investigation into, quote, recent unauthorized disclosures, end quote.
This seems to be part of a larger pattern of turmoil at the Pentagon, isn't it?
Absolutely. As reported by multiple sources including HuffPost and the Associated Press, this upheaval occurs amid considerable controversy within the Pentagon. We've seen firings of several senior military officers and contentious directives leading to the purging of diversity, equity, and inclusion content from military websites. Pentagon spokesman John Ulliott also resigned earlier this week, reportedly asked to do so.
What about Secretary Hegseth himself? Is he under any scrutiny?
That's where things get particularly interesting, Grace. According to analysis from Perplexity API, Hegseth himself reportedly shared sensitive military information about U.S. airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen via the Signal messaging app earlier this year. He apparently named Caldwell as a key contact coordinating the strikes and mistakenly included journalist Jeffrey Goldberg in the chat group. Despite this potential security breach, as of today, the official investigation appears focused solely on his aides, with no formal investigation announced against Hegseth himself.
Well, that certainly gives new meaning to the phrase signal intelligence. Thank you, Ethan, for shedding light on this Pentagon personnel predicament. We'll be keeping an eye on this developing story.
My pleasure, Grace. As they say in the Pentagon, loose lips sink ships, and apparently careers too.
Welcome back to our morning news. Our next story looks at how new tariffs are affecting the cost of essential baby products. For more on this, we're joined by our consumer affairs reporter, Chloe. Good morning, Chloe.
Good morning, Grace. Parents across America are facing a real stroller shock as new tariffs on imported baby products are causing prices to soar. According to NEWS 10ABC, tariffs ranging from 10% to a whopping 145% for items from China are creating a perfect storm of higher prices and potential shortages.
That's quite a range. How widespread is this impact likely to be?
It's going to be far-reaching, Grace. Approximately 90% of baby products and their components are manufactured in Asia, predominantly China. This means almost all baby gear is affected. For example, Business Insider reports that Elizabeth Mahone, who owns Three Littles, a baby goods store in Washington, D.C., has seen the popular UPPA Baby Vista stroller jump by $300, from $899 to $1,199.
So we're talking about significant increases. Are manufacturers trying to find workarounds?
Yes, but it's proving difficult. According to NEWS 10ABC, many companies are attempting to shift manufacturing to countries like Vietnam and Mexico, but they're hitting roadblocks due to a lack of manufacturing expertise and skilled labor in those regions. Some businesses have even implemented hiring freezes and halted orders while they figure out next steps.
I imagine this is particularly concerning for safety items like car seats. What are experts saying about that?
That's exactly right, Grace. There's genuine concern that these price hikes could have safety implications. Store owners told Business Insider that customers are panic buying, anticipating further increases. The worry is that families might turn to secondhand products, which safety experts strongly advise against for items like car seats. Or worse, some families might not be able to afford car seats at all.
That's alarming. The first year with a baby is already expensive, isn't it?
Absolutely. According to reporting from Perplexity, the baseline cost of raising a child in the first year already averages over $20,000. These tariff-driven price increases are essentially adding a tax on parenthood, and it disproportionately affects families with young children and those with lower incomes.
Is there any push for exemptions? I seem to recall some baby products were exempted from tariffs in the past.
You've got a good memory, Grace. The Juvenile Products Manufacturers Association has requested tariff exemptions, emphasizing that baby products are essential safety items. As Perplexity reports, during the previous Trump administration, certain baby products, including car seats and high chairs, were exempted following industry lobbying. Currently, Democratic lawmakers led by Representative Kelly Morrison are calling for similar exemptions.
And what about other products? Have there been any recent exemptions granted?
Yes, there have. According to Perplexity, as of April 13th, just 7 days ago, the Trump administration expanded tariff exemptions for products including smartphones, computers, and chips. However, there's no indication yet whether baby products will receive similar treatment.
So what should parents do in the meantime? Wait it out or buy now?
Based on the current situation, experts are suggesting that parents and caregivers consider purchasing essential baby gear sooner rather than later to avoid these tariff-related price spikes. It's a case of buy baby before prices cry even higher. but they should also keep an eye on legislative developments for potential relief if exemptions are granted.
Thanks for that comprehensive report, Chloe. I'm sure many parents will be watching this situation closely. That was our consumer affairs reporter, Chloe, with story 2 of 2 this morning. Here are some other headlines. Tragedy in Illinois' Coles County, where a small plane crash near Trilla claimed the lives of all 4 people on board Saturday morning, April 20th. Officials say the single-engine Cessna struck power lines before crashing into a field. The victims were 2 men and 2 women. The NTSB and Illinois State Police are investigating the fatal incident. Governor J.B. Pritzker expressed sympathy for those affected. The crash caused temporary power outages and road closures in the area. In Florida, ongoing Everglades restoration efforts are seen as crucial for protecting the Florida Keys. The Everglades, a vast national park and World Heritage Site, provides habitat for species like manatees and crocodiles. Scientists are closely monitoring drought conditions, as freshwater flow from the Everglades regulates salinity levels in Florida Bay, which is vital for seagrass and marine life. Restoration aims to restore the natural water flow, offering both ecological and significant economic benefits. Estimated at a $4 return for every dollar invested, including improved water supplies and natural buffers against storm surges provided by mangroves and reefs. A unique event took place in Beijing this past weekend, where humanoid robots competed alongside humans in a 13.1-mile half-marathon. The robots ran on a parallel course for safety and required special pit stops for battery swaps. While most were remote-controlled, the winning robot, Tiangong Ultra, developed by the Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center, finished in just over 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's significantly slower than the human winner's time of about 1 hour and 2 minutes. But the event still marked a milestone for robotics, showcasing advancements while highlighting current limitations in endurance and autonomous navigation. An unusual calendar coincidence occurred this year, with the informal marijuana holiday, 4/20, overlapping with both Easter Sunday and the Jewish holiday of Passover. April 20th, or 4/20, originated with a group of California high school students in the 1970s and has become a globally recognized day associated with cannabis culture and advocacy. Its occurrence during these major religious holidays marks a rare convergence of diverse cultural and religious observances. And Pope Francis made a significant public appearance on Easter Sunday, delivering the traditional Urbi et Orbi blessing meaning to the city and the world from the loggia of St. Peter's Basilica, which was adorned with tulips. This followed his recent recovery from bilateral pneumonia. The Pope spoke of hope and resurrection, triumphing over evil, and later delighted crowds by touring St. Peter's Square in the Pope-mobile. In his Easter message, he also made calls for peace, global disarmament, and the release of prisoners, specifically mentioning conflict zones like Gaza, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Sudan. That's all we have for now. Today's episode was made by Alexander King, with Claude Sonnet 3.7, Gemini Pro 2.5 Experimental, Gemini Flash 2.0, Perplexity Sonar Pro, and Google Cloud Text-to-Speech. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, Alex.